Hi, and welcome to One Acadiana's Candidate Conversation Series. I'm Keely McGibney, and this is Andre Bro here on the team at One Acadiana. We're bringing you candidate conversations so you can get to know those folks who are running to represent you for offices across Lafayette Parish. But we also want to help you get to know those individuals who've qualified unopposed for re-election to their seats.
That's right. And for this conversation, we're joined by City Councilwoman Liz Webb Hebert of Lafayette City Council District 3. Liz, thank you for joining us and congratulations on being reelected without opposition.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. What an honor. I'm so lucky, so blessed, and excited to have another 4 years to serve my district. So
Well, many folks in the community already know you, but we'll let you give you a couple minutes just to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the community.
absolutely. So born and raised here in Lafayette. I went to Turley's Catholic High School, go Rebels, went up to Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, and came back down to Lafayette, and I've been blessed to live here. I'm married to my better half, Aaron Hebert, and who's a small business owner for Reliant Payroll, and a dog mom to two dogs, Batman and Murphy. Batman is currently at my feet right now, and Murphy is scratching at the door because he finally wants to come in. But
Well,
happy to serve.
Yeah, it's great to get to know you a little bit more. And can you tell us then what inspired you initially to run for public office?
Sure. So I was, whenever I moved back to Lafayette, I met my now husband, and we sort of just had that conversation you always have when you first start dating is, do you want to remain here in Lafayette? What's your goals for your future? And I said at the time to him while we were just dating, is that if I'm going to live in Lafayette, I want to make a difference. I want to have roots here. I want to serve my community and make Lafayette the place that I want to live, right? And that if our future kids or our friends' kids or our family members' kids would want to live here, right? And as we all know, change takes time. It's not an immediate thing. And so from that point on, I just knew that, God and timing would guide me to the right time to run for office. And in 2015, that time sort of presented itself with the new administration, new council. And so I threw my hat in the ring and did it. So I'm currently serving out my second term on the council now, about to roll into my third and final term. So I'll be term limited.
Well, looking ahead to that third term, are there specific priorities that you hope to address? And we'll start with short-term issues.
Sure. Short-term issues. Oh gosh, it's really, every term we say, I have to, before answering what do I plan on doing, you have to look back a little bit, right? Is that all candidates go through this feeling of, I know exactly what I'm going to accomplish once I get in, but I can tell you that my first term, I knew exactly what I was going to accomplish because I had knocked on every door in my district. I knew what I was going to do. But then if we all remember what happened in 2016, it was the 2016 flood, right? And when I was knocking on doors in 2015, no one mentioned drainage problems. But guess what? That was the theme of it and still is today, right? And so, and then coming into the next term, I was like, I'm ready to tackle roads, bridges, drainage. I'm ready to do this. And then COVID hit within 2 months of being on that term. So I want to say I hope we don't have a national disaster or anything that happens in the beginning of the next term. But you say you have an idea of what you hope to accomplish, but you never know what's going to get thrown at you. So you have to be quick on your feet. I think a goal for mine for this upcoming year that I hope to accomplish is focusing on our parks. Focusing on parks and recreation, and specifically, of course, starting in my district, is we've got a lot of parents who spend a lot of time. If you're a parent with a child, you're spending a lot of time at the park, whether it's through sports or they're just playing on the gym, jungle gyms, or whatever the case may be. Is I want us to focus on improving our parks, making them beautiful, making them more accessible, making them a place that you want to bring your children, place you and your spouse want to go have a picnic. So that's going to be sort of a goal of mine, is starting within my district, of course, and then working my way out and seeing how we can improve our parks. We've already started working on that, as I'm sure you've seen some of the improvements we're already doing and working on. The improvements we're making over at Brown Park, which is really exciting, that's recently been announced. Of course, the Monkus Park, which is not tied to LCG, but is in my district and is an asset to our community, is building upon that momentum that we have going, is seeing what we can do, whether it's through just LCG or public-private partnerships.
Well, great. And it's good to hear more about that. And if we continue down the line of priorities and you think about the office, in the years to come, and you think about the city council in the years to come, are there long-term challenges you think the city council is going to need to remain focused on, long-term priorities that you've seen?
Of course, absolutely. There's so many of them, but I guess if I had to think, it's taking care of the residents and protecting their property values. We're having those conversations sort of in the last 3 years of what does short-term rentals look like. We're having that conversation now. It's how do we clean up our community, strengthen our ordinances for tall grass, abandoned properties, abandoned vehicles. It's really cleaning up the areas that we have now, taking care of the core of Lafayette, because Lafayette, as we're seeing, is expanding out. And as we have seen in our time of, we grow, which is great. There's nothing wrong with growth, but you can't forget and not maintain what we already have, right? And so that's, I think, something that the city council really needs to focus on, not just now, but also moving forward, is not forgetting about what we have, letting it become abandoned. And then people who are living there have to live with it. So I think that's something that the future council members and current council members definitely have to keep in mind.
Well, you mentioned the growth of Lafayette. As an economic development organization, certainly we want Lafayette to grow. And as a city councilwoman, I'm sure you want Lafayette to grow as well. So think about if you were talking to somebody who is interested in moving to Lafayette and helping us grow our community, what would you tell them about our community?
Oh God. So my full-time job is I recruit surgeons for a living for a company based out of Nashville called Surgery Partners. And I recruit nationwide. I have hospitals all across the US that I recruit for. But whenever I bring physicians here and I'm telling them about Lafayette, is I just say, you will not meet better people. You will not meet a better community of people. You will not eat better food. You will not have a better feeling. It's all about the feeling to me. And is that when I try and talk to surgeons across the US, I say, consider Louisiana, Lafayette. They go, oh, I don't know. It's that stereotype. I don't want to ride a alligator to school or a P-row to school, and I say, it's hard to convince them to come try us. But the moment they step off the plane in our beautiful airport and start driving down the roads or meeting the people, they're hooked. I have yet to not be able to get a physician to come move to Lafayette once I get him or her here. So I think it's the feeling, it's the people, it's the entrepreneurial spirit, it's the kindness that we show each other truthfully. So I think those are our biggest selling points, and the wanting to improve and be better as a community and all hands on deck. So that's what I would say is the best thing about Lafayette.
Absolutely. Well, as we start to wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share with your constituents? Anything else you would want your constituents to know about you?
Absolutely, of course. I could talk all day about what I would want my constituents to know about, right? I want to keep everybody informed and engaged. I want people to know what I know, what I've learned since being on the council is, I guess the easiest way to do that would encourage people to sign up. I send out a monthly newsletter every month, have since I got in office, just sharing with people what I've learned and what they need to know, what's coming up. In fact, this newsletter is going to give them all the information about the upcoming election. We have a lot of items on the ballot. I'm thankful I'm not one of them, but just keeping people informed. So if they want to sign up for my newsletter, they can go to my website, lizwebbhebert.org. They can go to my Facebook page, Councilwoman District 3, Liz Webb Hebert, sign up there, or they can just shoot me an email as well, Liz Hebert at LafayetteLA.gov. Follow me on Facebook. I want to stay in touch. Call me, email me. I want to hear from you and I want to help you.
Well, thank you so much, and we truly appreciate your time helping the community get to know you better. As we said, many people do know you, but there's always more to learn, and so we appreciate it. And everyone, thank you for joining us. That was Lafayette City Councilwoman Liz Webb Hebert of Lafayette City Council District 3. She has won re-election to the seat. Councilwoman, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations again.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful day and a great weekend.